Hey guys, today we're going to be going over some of the new regulations that the ATF is trying to pass. So in this video, I'm going to go over some of the things that they're trying to change and what we should do in the response to that. I'm not going to be going over everything in absolute full detail because that would take a really long time to do that because the letters are always really confusing, extensive. But Mr. Guns and Gear does have a really good video on that if you guys want to check that out. So as you probably have already heard, they're trying to get rid of P80s and ghost guns as they call them, and they are working on trying to restructure the definitions of receivers, firearms, and things like that, trying to basically word them in a way that helps them be able to regulate things a lot better. This is pretty worrisome because they're basically just trying to change definitions to fit their agendas and what works best for them at the time. I know in the past they have tried with lawsuits, and because of their definitions, things haven't gone all the way through because of the fact that their definitions didn't quite fit the charges that they were doing, and they've had to throw some things out. And the problem for them is it makes them look silly when they have to throw charges out. So basically what they're trying to do is just restructure the definitions of these things like receivers so they can put more charges on you and regulate things differently. That's a big problem because the ATF is already so unregulated. They kind of do whatever they want. They've proven to us that they can just write letters and say, okay, this is the new law. Now we changed our mind. Now this is the new law. And that's really scary because this isn't just a slap on the wrist. This isn't a, hey, you probably shouldn't do that. This is prison time. This is big fines. This is getting things taken away that shouldn't be getting taken away in unconstitutional law. So big deal. It's not something that should be taken lightly, even if it's something small that you don't do. Like say you're like, oh, I don't have a P80, nor do I care to own one. So it's okay if they take that away. That's a big no-no because we did that with bump stocks. And the problem with that is now it set new precedents that they could do that. They could just take something away without having to go through the proper steps or the fact that it was wildly unconstitutional. Do not just say because I don't have one of those, I'm okay with that going away, because that's not okay. Anything that gets covered under the Second Amendment should stay protected, and that's how it should be, because the second they start chipping away, as they've already done in the past, they're going to keep going until they take everything away. And as I've said before, once they take the Second Amendment away, they're not going to stop there. They're going to go after the First Amendment and whatever is after that. So this isn't just a one-shot thing. They're not just going away for firearms. I know a lot of people think that this is just a firearms battle. It's not. This is much bigger than just that. It's just starting here, so we need to end it before it gets too much bigger. Before I go too far into that rabbit hole, because that's not really exactly what I want to talk about, now I kind of want to go over the things that we should be doing, what we should do to kind of prevent this, and the next steps for everyone. One of the biggest ones is, I know when the ATF releases this stuff, they usually release a letter on their website. You can go onto their website, you can read it, go over it, and then you can create a comment and share your thoughts to them. What we've done in the past is we shared that as much as we could to get people to go and write their comments and share their thoughts on why they think that was not a good idea. A lot of people will say, oh, that doesn't work. Our comments don't count. They don't read them. It doesn't matter. They do whatever they want, which is true to an extent, but it has worked in the past, and the most recent being the braces. They sent the letter out saying they were going to get rid of them completely, and we ended up making enough comments that they backed off of that. Now, that's not saying this is going to work forever, because I don't think it will. Right now it is working, and we're able to postpone or delay what's happening. But the thing is I don't think these comments and letters are going to keep being pushed off this much. Eventually the ATF is just going to do what they want and go around it. So yes, I don't think the letters and the comments are always going to work, but right now it's working. So we need to continue to do that so we have more time to continue to find a plan, figure out what to do, and support the places like the gun policy and others that are fighting for our rights, that are trying to prevent this stuff. So I definitely think that is a good thing to do. So if this does come out in that letter form and you're able to make that comment, make sure you're making the comments. I'll try to share all that information if it does come to that point. But making comments does help a ton. For those of you who say it doesn't, then I guess sit at home and wait for things to be taken away if you're not going to do the little things that we can do. Another thing I hear a lot, and I saw it a lot in my last video that I made about this, was just don't comply. Don't comply with the government. Do whatever you want. It's unconstitutional. So build your SBRs, build this, and don't give them your guns. Yes, that may work at keeping your guns with you, but the problem is that does nothing in the grand scheme of things. That absolutely solves absolutely nothing. Their government and the ATF are going to continue to chip away and doing what they're doing while you're just not complying. They don't care. If you hoard your guns and keep them in your basement, whatever. They're just going to continue to do what they're doing and continue to take away our rights further. At some point, there needs to be more than just not complying. Yes, I understand the concept of that, but people take that to heart too much, and I think it's kind of silly because it's almost like a cop-out of like, oh, I'm not going to comply, so I don't have to worry about anything else. No, there's a lot more to worry about because there's a lot more we can do opposed to just not complying and giving up and saying, okay, I'm not going to comply. I'll keep all my guns in my basement and I don't care what they do. I mean, honestly, the ATF just needs to be completely disbanded. I mean, it's a joke of an organization, but unfortunately, there's a lot of steps that are going to have to be taken before that happens. The next people are your Boog people or your Civil War people that think, let them take everything because then we're just going to start a civil war, we'll fight them and we'll win and we'll keep our guns. No one wants that. Absolutely no one I talk to or I know wants that to happen. That sounds horrible. Anyone that says that and thinks that's a really cool idea and thinks that's going to work has never seen death, has never seen war, has never seen any of that stuff. I have never been in the military. I've never witnessed war firsthand, but I've seen death. I've seen hurt and loss. And that is not something I want to deal with. I don't think that's the answer. I don't think that's the way to go because I think that's going to do more harm than good. I think there are other ways that we can do that. I think there needs to be a definitive line needs to be drawn. I think we need to stop allowing things to be chipped away. I think that should have been drawn a long time ago, but unfortunately it wasn't. So now it's our turn and our time to actually do something about it. How that line is drawn and how definitive it is, I don't know. I really wish I had a really good answer for that, but what needs to happen is it needs to be done, and then we need to start getting back to things that have already been taken away. It's going to be a process. It's not going to be an overnight thing, but that is basically what needs to happen. We need to say enough is enough. This is it. We're no longer allowing this to happen, and then we need to do something about it. So that is my thought. That's where this needs to go. I don't think just not complying is going to fix anything. It's just going to keep you having your guns cool in your basement. You can't do anything with them because if you're seen with them or seen with an illegal gun, then you're going to get charged, arrested, thrown in jail, and then we need to actually do something about the problem instead of just saying we're not going to comply and blindly pretend like that's you doing your part, because it's not. All in all, do what's best for you, do what's best for your family, and what keeps you and them safe. Who am I to tell you what to do, and who are you to tell me what to do about my stuff and my family? So do what makes you comfortable, do what you think, do your own research. I don't know everything. Other people here on YouTube don't know everything. Do your own research, find out your own information, and make your own opinion from there. And then find other people that are like-minded with you and make a decision on what you guys want to do and what you think should happen. I think discussions need to be continued to be brised about this. That's why I kind of want to make videos like this. I don't usually like to just do political type videos. I like to do more gun reviews because I think it's more fun and entertaining and it's not so dreary, I guess, because this stuff is just depressing. But I really like to get the conversation going for people. So I think that you should continue to keep this conversation going with other people. Share this stuff, share the information, share this video, and find out what people think. So I really hope that all of you are safe. I hope that it never gets down to a point where we have to fight physically for our rights. I am prepared if it has to happen. I don't want that to happen because I don't want anyone to get hurt. I would just love for them to let us go and do what we want and have our rights the way they should be. But unfortunately, there's a lot of things that need to happen before that. So one of those big things is just drawing that line, saying absolutely no more, this is enough, and starting to push back on the things that we should have never gotten taken away in the first place. Suppressors should never be regulated. We should not have to pay taxes on a suppressor or a SBR. It is an absolute joke that that is a thing. So that stuff needs to get rid of. It's going to be a process, so I hope to see things turning around eventually. Unfortunately, with the administration that it is now, I see it being a really hard fight for the next 4 years. So keep your heads up. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you guys ever need help, find somebody locally that you guys can trust, group together, have a good group, have a good plan. I have a video on plans on what you should do, what you should get, and reach out to people in your community. In the firearms community, we all need to band together more than ever, opposed to fighting amongst ourselves. There's a lot of division inside the gun community, and we need to get rid of that and fight against the actual problem instead of just each other. So I hope this video was helpful. I just wanted to get on real quick and do some talking. I'm trying to experiment here where I don't have any firearms at all in this video scene because YouTube's been completely demonetizing my stuff. So I wanted to see if maybe the fact that there was firearms or scary guns inside the film, I figured maybe we'll see if this video gets demonetized or not. So it's a little experiment I'm trying. Maybe we'll throw a Nerf gun in next time or something. Maybe I said gun too many times. That's probably the problem. Oops. If you guys want to help support me on the channel, there's a couple ways to do that. There are some discount codes down below from companies that I trust. And anything you buy there gives you a discount and gives me a small kickback, which helps out the channel a ton. Another way is a link to my website. From there, you can go to other websites like Brownells, Air Precision. Anything you purchase using those links gives me a small kickback and show those companies that I am generating traffic, which is always a great thing. So if you do those things, I really appreciate it. If not, I just appreciate you guys being here, watching the videos, and liking and subscribing always helps as well. So thank you guys so much. Another couple companies that support support me a ton is Howitzer. These guys have awesome clothing. They donate 5% of proceeds to charity, and they donated a ton of money so far. So absolutely love and support them. Also, TA Targets has been a great company, and they support me, and I support them as well because of their company's values, and they make great steel targets. When it comes to steel targets, you want to shoot something that's safe, and these are very safe. They are a little expensive, but there's a discount code that'll save you some. But in the long run, you want good quality stuff that's going to last you forever, along with not shoot back at you, because cheap targets, I've seen it in firsthand, they'll shoot shrapnel back at you, or they'll ricochet wrong, and you can get hit by those. So shooting good quality targets is super important. And I have my range completely filled with these guys and absolutely trust them. So both great companies, and I really like what they're doing. So I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Hopefully these help, and we'll probably get back into doing the reviews here shortly.